No, it's not the end of the episode yet. Whoopsies. Yeah, probably should have done that before I hit record. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Thanks so much for being patient the last couple weeks. Doing the Easter holidays,
Right.
and me getting sick, it's just been a rough stretch. So I'm finally back at
Yeah.
it. Hopefully Diego can muster through it. So Diego in the audience, appreciate your patience. I know it's been a little bit quiet on the episode upload part, but hey, I mean, the season's finally done. We got the playing tournament and the playoffs, so hopefully a lot to
Yeah.
look forward to. I don't know about you, Diego, but I just feel like I couldn't get into the season
Mhm.
as much this year as in like other years, primarily because the Bulls were like just they. I couldn't. It made it so hard to be a fan of the team, and then like just the way like once the playing teams were decided, like so much of the focus was just on
Tanking.
tanking. It's become
Yeah.
a really big subject, and we've addressed it on the podcast too. But I don't think the season's a wash from a viewership standpoint. I think
Oh
you're going
no.
to the best of it. But before we get into that, how are you doing these past couple weeks? What are
I'm
you
doing
looking
good.
forward to with more basketball? Because we got the Heat and the Hornets coming up
Yeah.
in 20 minutes, so we'll try and give the highlights of that too as we're talking here.
Yep. I'm interested to see if the Hornets can make it. I guess I'd agree. I haven't been able to focus as much on this season as I have others, just because I was more invested in college basketball in general, just dipping more of my feet into that. Getting to understand a little bit more and watching that. So I wasn't as focused on NBA basketball per se, but I guess the biggest thing for me I've noticed is I haven't watched as many games, but I've definitely kept up. I think all throughout my NBA fanship, I've been busy with school, high school, college, and I haven't been able to watch as many games. But I've always like followed on like Instagram or Twitter or something where I have an idea of what's going on
Yeah.
and the general. Like I've thought about like I keep up with it as if I were a casual, but I know certain places to look to watch videos or look online to where I have like slightly higher thoughts than casual. So that's kind of where I'm at. But excited for the playoffs. We'll talk about that, and then yeah, Charlotte Hornets. I'm kind of cheering them on. I'm just excited to see something so hopeful and something we've seen so many times. Be like maybe, no, maybe, no, and now this time it's like a maybe, and like you're really kind of foaming a little bit at the mouth out of interest. Right?
There's such a feel good story. Like I
Yeah.
look at, there's a couple teams like that in the East where you have the Hornets and then you have the Raptors. Like that's going to be an
Exactly.
intriguing matchup with the Cavaliers, and then the Hawks and the Knicks. Like people forget the Hawks from like January onward were probably a top 4 team in the East,
Yep.
like playing like it. So there's a lot of like, and you got to think about it too. These are like the top 16 teams in the league competing for a championship. So like the more and more I guess I'm going through seasons past, and I'm like this with football too. It's almost like the seeds don't matter to me. Like
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it 1-8 and stuff like that. Like I
It's
could see
balanced.
Kawhi like get a game or two on the Thunder if he gets past the Warriors and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of just like how do the matchups fall? And like basketball is kind of more of like it's become more and more like a matchups based game rather than like how you performed over the course of 82 game season. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that just from a sense. We didn't cover the NCAA championship. That was
Yeah.
a great watch. Honestly, I was rooting for UConn a bit just because I love the way like Terrence Reed has been playing
Yeah.
the past couple of like high leverage games. But I found myself watching the Wolverines and watching UConn try to figure things out. And I thought they did a way better job of like generating offense against the Wolverines
hmm
than what we saw out of Arizona. And I did not see that coming. Um,
Yeah.
like that, they made this a very enjoyable game, even though they missed like 13 consecutive threes. They were like
hmm
5 for 21 on first shots, and just not a recipe for winning a championship. But their defense kept them in this game, and that's the big thing that stuck out. Like Lendeborg obviously was dealing with injuries, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing that stands out is like ultimately in like a grinded out game, any semblance of talent that you get at the high end and able
Mhm.
to leverage that is going to help you win. And we saw that in Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, Terrace Reed, and I'm surprised with how Terrace Reed was playing. I didn't really think too much of UConn during the season, but also Arizona. For both of them, I was like, they have big, I think, like I've said multiple times on here, guys that are built like refrigerators, like mountains of men, like just absolute brick walls of Matthias Krivas, and Terrace Reed. And I was like, is Michigan going to be able to hold up against that? Is it Adaimara 7'4"? Yes, but kind of a twig type of build. And what really put me onto this is like this kind of build versus build matchup is in 2024 when the Mavs played the Timberwolves. You're thinking, well, Jaden McDaniels is a great defender, but he didn't match up well against Luka because he's too skinny to body him up. He's there in front of him, but it doesn't matter that much, especially as a big man. That matters a bit more. But I think just the way Michigan played in this kind of switching zone defense, like man defense with zone concepts of switching in a way that is so interesting and different. I'm happy they won. I'm happy for Adai and Yaxel, both Hispanics there doing their thing in the basketball world. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm excited to see. I think both of them are projected to get drafted. Yeah, should be good.
Lottery, like lottery picks, or what are we talking? What would you say?
Yaxel, I think, is lottery. I've seen, and I agree just because he's played defense on almost any type of player, being 6'8", 6'9", and being able to shoot the three, pass the ball. He's just a literal Swiss Army knife, and a crazy story as well as a guy in high school who was just getting bad grades, like didn't care about anything, but then got interested in playing basketball for his high school team. Got him to bring his grades up. He goes to some junior college, gets a chance at UAB, and now is a national champion at the University of Michigan. So pretty big stuff. And yeah, he was born in the Dominican Republic of Puerto Rican descent, or the other way around. And Adaimara is from Spain. So love those two guys, and happy to see them win. I think Adaimara is the first Spanish player to ever win a national championship. So that's another interesting stat. Yeah.
Well, keep in mind that entire starting lineup was transfers.
Yeah,
they didn't go over the Michigan program from like freshman year onward and develop the team. Yeah. And not that it matters. I think it's more so like how much synergy do you have with the guys on the physical roster at that time versus like, oh, did you go to Michigan since freshman year?
Yeah.
Or did you transfer? Like, yes, it helps the longer you stay at a place to build chemistry. But I think just the way Michigan won and how they did show there's multiple avenues to build a contending team, because a lot of times we talk about the NCAA tournament. Usually the teams that go the farthest are the teams that play to like have players playing for their junior, senior year at the same college. And now with the NIL and people like just moving, using the transfer portal a ton, like there's kind of like this back and forth in your head where it's like, okay, we could get all the best players in the same program.
Yeah.
Michigan didn't really do that. They got guys from like different spots. They got like Lendeborg was from like UCLA, right? And then
he was from UAB. Adaimara was at UCLA. Elliot Cadeau, UNC. Yeah. I think Roddy Gale might have already been there, but he had transferred a few years before from Ohio State. That's an interesting one.
And then Mraz from UIUC.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I guess it worked out.
I mean, it depends on the lens you look at it. Like, you should be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's – I think the thing that plagued, like, UConn in this game was just how aggressive Cadeau was. Because you could see it in, like, how it affected Solo Ball and DeMary. Like, the foul count for UConn was crazy bad. And I haven't watched much of UConn this year. I haven't watched much of college basketball, period. But my understanding is it's not been a one-off situation with the foul trouble. They've always struggled with that throughout the season. So to see that play them in the championship game was not ideal. because you saw them run out of answers towards the second half, and then have to and despite all of that, you have your sharpshooter cut as a 4, like with 2 possessions to go.
Yeah.
After a turnover. And then you see Michigan adjust. And Dusty May totally deserved the contract extension he got. Pulling up an Indiana Pacers and having route running a possession after they turned the ball over. That is coaching right there. I mean, it's pretty simple to recap this game. Like Michigan, we talked about the depth and the tie-in talent that they have, but then also like how everybody played with effort. Because you could have all the talent in the world, just ask the Nets. But like if you're not able to get them to play together on both sides of the ball with each other, it makes no difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. And the transfer portal is always a lot of talent. Illinois picked up a guy from Providence, so even more talent to go around. So yeah.
So we're talking about the Mike Malone, UNC,
yeah.
the champions next year.
I don't know about that. I'm more of a if I'm picking Duke or UNC, I'm picking Duke, and I don't know. He doesn't have the connections for recruiting, and I guess he could just be like, I won an NBA championship, but who knows? So,
he's gonna be that old man on the porch that's been yelling like, I've been doing this before you even born.
Yeah, I think. One reason he went there is because his daughter is playing volleyball there in college, so that could be. And obviously, he's getting paid a boatload, so he's just got to get some results.
Definitely helps when the family gets a little bit of a discount there. Yeah. Not assuming anything, but I'm guessing that's probably what happened. Just an assumption on my. Well, I am assuming. I'm just gonna stop talking. Okay, alrighty.
Playing, I think. Right?
Playing tournament. Obviously, got the Heat and the Hornets. I like the matchup. I don't see Bam scoring 84 here. Bold prediction, I know. I do think the Hornets have a lot going for them.
Oh, yeah.
They're at home. They have LaMelo Ball playing out of his mind and the team around him, and they're just playing with their hair on fire. They're favored by 5.5 points. What are you looking into this game?
Well, one thing is, I guess going with the Hornets is I was listening to a podcast and it kind of obviously we know why the Hornets are good, right? LaMelo is really coming into his own. Brandon Miller, them two playing games together healthfully, a lot of health this year, and then Conkanipple really being that third creator and excelling at the role, leading the league in threes as a rookie. But just those three guys there, you put Miles Bridges and you put Moussa Diabate, it's really hard with that squad. And even in the second unit, it's hard to hide your worst defender because you've got three guys that can cook off the dribble a little bit, and the other two guys can just set screens. So no matter where you are, your Tyler Hero, your Norman Powell, you might get exposed. And on the other end, I don't know. I don't think Moussa Diabate can clamp down Bam Adebayo. Obviously, like you said, he's not going to go for 84, but it'll be an interesting matchup there. I think I want the Hornets just because the Heat to me I've noticed this in myself that when I don't see a team having a direction like the Heat, like I don't know what they're doing, where they're going, and they've been the play-in for I think 4 straight years. I don't really care. Like you don't deserve. Not that they don't truly deserve to win. They can win and they deserve to win that game. But like I don't think they should win this game. So yeah,
They do have the matchup advantage over the season. They're leading the season series 3-1. But if you look at most of these games, like half of them happened before the calendar year flipped.
Yep.
And they were both blowouts in Miami's favor. But I think the story of what we're seeing here is like, look at the games in March. Miami still won that game 3, 128-120, but 8-point game. It wasn't the Hornets losing by 20. And then what happened 11 days later? Hornets just simply dominated, won by 30. So I think you're slowly starting to see a changing of the guard between these two teams, and you're starting to see this transition where, it don't matter. Like the Hornets figured out how to win, and that something like that is just not going to go away. So, you do have Norman Powell. you have Bam Adebayo, and you have Tyler Hero, but when your leading scorer is Brandon Miller and you have LaMelo Ball having 7.1 assists a game and Diabate and rebounds, and you're having different players dominate like that, they know their roles. It's going to be hard to stop them, and like it's going to be tough to win rookie of the year for this guy, but Knippel as well. Like it's just tough to match up like all over the court because not only are they sharpshooters, they can get to their own shots.
Yeah.
But you don't have to game plan something for the player on offense. You can let them be. Like LaMelo's just playing on the playground no matter where it's at. And you can't really practice for that if you're the Heat. You could do certain things, but LaMelo's still going to do something like completely unexpected. And I think he has a surrounding cast that can help rein in LaMelo going to the extreme where if he's just playing like a kid on the playground or if he's just playing too timid where he's trying to be too structured because expectations levied up. I think he's slowly starting to overcome that over the season, and he's not like limited by that, oh, the pressure's on, it's the playoffs, because he hasn't had that experience. But then also he has a team around him to lean on where he doesn't have to do everything himself. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Charlotte team is definitely the best it's been in a long time, so I'm interested to see them make the playoffs, and I think everyone is, right? That's kind of the consensus is we want the Hornets in this. And
yep, I was about to ask you who you wanted to win, but I think it's pretty simple there. Trailblazers.
Yeah.
I saw
the Suns.
I wouldn't say it's like just somebody I know from high school. I didn't realize this until I saw the post, but she's somehow related to the new co-owner for the Trailblazers. I think his name is Shield Tile. So that was just crazy to see. I did not expect to see that on my social media page, and that's awesome for them and their family. And yeah, going in a new direction. Obviously, things did not start out great for the Trailblazers before the season started. A lot of things that changed the leadership and the players, and like I just want to commend the coaches, the organization for just continuing to fight the way they did this season. 7-8 matchup, 10 p.m. They're going up against the Suns. What do you make of this? Because I haven't watched either of these teams at all this season.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, really, I've seen a few Suns games. I was reminded today. I saw the Suns game where they beat the Thunder. That was awesome. And the funny thing is they both kind of play similar style. They're both really aggressive defenses who on offense leave a bit to be desired, more at the Trailblazers than the Suns in that sense because Suns have Devin Booker. But, I mean, you have the Trailblazers have the guy who kind of gave Devin Booker's worst nightmare of stealing it from him in the finals and Drew Holiday. So I don't think it's clamping up completely, but aside from that, who are the Suns bigs? Oso Ighodaro. How is he gonna match up against and rookie Kaman Malawach? How are both of them gonna match up against Donovan Clingan, Robert Williams, two excellent defenders who are just huge. So yeah, I could see either team winning this honestly because the Suns have some big disadvantages, but I'm pretty impartial. I guess I'll just go to the Suns just for because I think overall they're a better team, and I love Jordan Knott and what he's done to help them become like a Pistons Thunder light this year.
Same here. I think it's nothing against the Blazers. I just think they're kind of in a transition where they kind of overachieved this season, in my opinion. Yeah. And I mean, you have a lot of transitions. You still don't have your star player. Dame is out.
Yeah.
Like you still got to figure what the future looks like there, and your head coach was lost at the beginning of the season. I think all those things combined, there's a lot to consider what you had to go through, and then like you almost want to turn the page, start new season fresh, upgrade your talent, go from there. But you still want to compete as much as you can. So I think for the Suns, I agree with the Jordan Knott. I think he's done a lot of innovative things. We've talked about in the beginning of the season how the team would constantly like crash, but then also like be able to guard like the crashers so they can develop like their transition game as the league sort of transition to this off ball rebounding. If you're not shooting the ball, go crash as much as you can, get offensive possessions. So I think he's had a huge part in that. And it's why the Suns have been able to eke out wins, even though like they're not notoriously star-studded as they once were.
Yeah.
And I think those types of teams, especially when the playoffs get tighter and tighter and half-court possessions are at a premium, those teams kind of tend to do a lot better than people think. And I want to see how far they can take it because I don't think they would beat the Spurs in a game to 7 series, but it would definitely be entertaining to watch.
Yeah. I mean, the Suns were one of the first teams to beat the Spurs and kind of present this. What if you put Royce O'Neal on Victor Wembanyama, which isn't your first thought, but then you're like, yeah, because he's back to the whole twig build guy, praying mantis build, right? If he's so skinny, you put kind of a little smaller guy, but he's a bit of more of a brick, you know. Maybe that'll stop him. So Jordan has ideas, and who knows how that'll work. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy for the Suns because, I mean, their future isn't super clear. They have Devin Booker at least, but you got out of the rut of being, oh, we have all these stars. Let's rest on our laurels, and we're good. We don't have to worry about this. We're not going to play that hard defensively. And now that's what they're doing. The Blazers, right? You don't even know who the guy is. Scoot Henderson is okay. Shaden Sharp. Heard stuff about him last year, not much anymore.
I don't want to talk about Scoot, man.
Yeah.
Well, I should blame Brandon Pajensky. I was doing fine in the playoffs. Man pours 0.25 points. Completely tanks my chances of winning a playoff game I should have won. I panic, pick up Scoot in a hurry, and then I lose my playoff matchup.
I lost mine too, so no worries there.
I didn't even check.
It was depressing. But yeah, I guess we can look at the rest of the play-in. I think tomorrow, right? That's what's tomorrow?
Yep. Just these two tonight, and my computer's taking forever to load these new matchups. But you got the 76ers and the Magic, and you got the Clippers and the Warriors. I don't like that slate tomorrow, to be honest. Like, after the game the Magic had against the Celtics where they totally were not – I don't even know what happened. I'm just going to automatically trust the 76ers.
Without Embiid as well.
Take care of business.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, the Boston Celtics didn't have their entire starting lineup playing, apparently.
Yep.
And Orlando came out looking the way they did. I want to see how far the Clippers can do because you finally had Kawhi healthy for most of the season for 2 straight seasons.
Yeah.
And you got nothing to show for it. It's going to be a really big hill to climb. Because no matter what they do, the best they can do is get matched up with OKC. But I do think you got to beat the Warriors if you're the Clippers. Like, they've just been completely in disarray for reasons outside of their control. The legal situation and Steph just coming back, like, they are not ready to play as a cohesive team. You should be able to beat them. You're at home too, favored by 5.5. I don't think these are games we were watching, and this pains me to say because I loved what the Magic did this offseason. But just watching them in some of the games they played is just bewilders me. And to hear what happened against the Celtics in the game, I'm not going to do much analysis on this because I have a feeling I know where it's going to go. But correct me if I'm wrong. So let's hear what you got to say.
My Twitter feed today has been – I've seen multiple tweets of just being like, this one guy – and I don't know. I just see it on Twitter, and this guy's just like saying, my sources are saying that one of the star players on the Magic are threatening to request a trade if Jamal Mosley doesn't get fired, whatever happens in the playoffs. And I was like, that is the vibe I've heard on podcasts. But this is so funny. I just see it here. And, yeah, man. I think back, and the Hawks as well. At least the Hawks did well, but the Hawks and the Magic in the offseason were like, this is their conference now. It's all theirs. They're gonna be 1-2 and go to the final, the Eastern Conference Finals. And they're in the play. Now, I think there were injuries this year as well. It doesn't feel as bad as last year, but man, is it just painful to watch. And the Sixers, that's why the Magic kind of painful. The Sixers also painful because you have another case of just the Embiid Murphy's Law. We should just call it the Embiid's Law, where anything that can get injured will get injured, including your appendix, which that we all know is a random thing. That just happens. One day, you just your body puts one last particle by your appendix, and then boom, infection. You got to take it out, or else you will die. Like, what are the odds of that? My man has broken a bone in his like skull, like around his eyes, orbital bone, during a playoff series against the Raptors, and I don't remember when. I think 22, 21. Like all of these random things, the Bell's palsy. So, and I mean, the Sixers are okay with that. They don't necessarily need him, but this is just a battle of two kind of like, I don't want to say they're not like two like fallen soldiers just crawling to the end, but it feels like that a little bit. Like you're playing
guess how old
zombies.
Embiid is.
Oh my god, Embiid was drafted in like 2015, so he must have been at least 19 then. 9 years. He's 28.
32.
Oh,
It's the biggest what is for the Philadelphia 76ers, I feel like.
that hurts so much. That's like a just
because it's not going to get easier. It's not going to get like this is a guy who's not going to play until he's 40, man.
Oh my god!
There's no way. Not with the amount of injuries he's got. Like but I will say this: the 76ers have started to play like not assuming Joel Embiid is on the team. If that makes sense.
That was the best thing about this year, I feel like.
They're building the team around Edgecombe and Maxey, potentially Paul George. We'll see. And I was kind of hoping that Jared McCain would be part of this discussion. It's kind of weird.
He had to be sold low or sold
high. But it's not all lost. I think it would be really difficult for them to match up with Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah.
And what he brings to the equation. And that could be one avenue where the Magic get offense. Like Paolo, definitely. Because
PG is not.
You have to put PG on him, but PG's an older player.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you have Paolo and like Wendell working together, it's like can't stop both the current talent on the roster. So because they don't have Reed anymore, right? He went to the Pistons, so it's like okay.
Yeah, but I think
from the bigs,
they got a Dembona. He's pretty good, but honestly, thinking about it a bit more, Paolo Banchero doesn't get to the rim enough. At least from what I've seen, I don't follow Magic games super closely. I've heard this and seen some videos, and he loves to shoot. I feel like you dare him to take some shots, be like, "Yo, Paolo, prove to me you're a mid-range shooter. Prove to me," and then he's just gonna shoot himself out of the game unless he goes on fire, like in what was it, against the Cavs in 24 when he had his first playoff series. I don't know, man, but I don't even want to pick a winner. I don't know that. I don't even. Let's just say the Sixers, just because Maxey's had such a good year, he deserves it. Yeah.
I think there's a little bit more to why you're saying that, but okay, all right. The fantasy team.
Oh,
yeah,
that's also true. Oh my god,
it's been you've been too traumatized.
I know that was actually painful losing Maxey that way. I forgot about that.
Anyway. All right. You feel the same way about the Warriors and the Clippers then, or what do you want to see from this matchup?
The Warriors, like this is literally a lost season. This is the craziest. I mean, I wasn't expecting much, but man, this is less than what I was expecting. And to think back last year, the last game of the season, these two teams gave us a barn burner for what was it? I think then the Clippers got. Huh?
I think it was the play-in last year.
Was it the play? I thought it was the last game of the regular season, but the Warriors got to the 6th seed off of that, and I think the Clippers. Who was the 4th seed last year? The Clippers played the Nuggets, yeah, and they were the 5 seed. Yeah. So I think that game was a super close game. Kawhi was looking so good, and we're like, "Whoa, what is this Kawhi?" And I think then the Clippers,
I have. It was a 5-point game. It went to OT.
yeah,
That was a really tight Western Conference too, because
yep,
the teams finished like two wins apart from each other. Like Harden had 36, Zubac had like 17 rebounds, Curry had 36. Like the win
yeah,
probabilities were like, I'm just looking at the ESPN recap. It was constantly.
sloshing,
It was a great.
yeah.
It was a good game.
So just to think that was last year, and I mean these teams aren't. The Clippers are radically different, yes, but it's just the Clippers. Both teams have gone through so much. So much has been gone through. One of the funniest things for me for the Warriors, there's an account that was like, I'm not tweeting until Pajemski scores 30. And then I think someone tweeted all these players that have scored 30 since Pajemski's been in the league. It was a super long list. I can't believe I made it to the bottom of that tweet. And they scored 30, and then they put that, like, I don't know if you know that meme of the guy like with the ventilator on. He's like, that was so funny.
Finally,
so that was a positive, I guess. But yeah, I feel like if you're the Warriors, you kind of want to lose to help your draft odds, because what else? There's nothing. I'm looking at the playoff picture. There's nothing for you here if you're a Warriors fan. Coming from a Mavs fan, there's even less. Yeah. So you just got to find something in this draft and hope for the best, because I don't even know. You still have questions about what's Steve Kerr going to do next year. He said he's only playing with Curry.
He's going to recruit Kawhi. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah. Who knows?
All right. Talked about the playing teams.
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple playoff matchups. Yeah. What's standing out to you starting from the Saturday slate? We could just talk through these teams. Like, we got Toronto, Cleveland. Let's start there.
Who
you got winning that series and why?
Ooh. Oh, I think I have the Cavs just because Mobley, and I don't know if Allen's back, but Mobley and Allen are huge, and Jakob Poeltl feels like I don't know if you've seen Dirk Nowitzki running like after he retired. He looked like a baby giraffe. That's what Jakob Poeltl gives me the vibe of. I haven't watched him play too much. Sandro Memikaz really is great, but he's too small. And you have Colin Murray-Boyles.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Jakob Poeltl has been injured like so many times this season, where you've depended on like Colin Murray-Boyles, who's like a sub 6'8" center. Maybe he is 6'8", but he's a small center. He's great, but he's a rookie that just feels like there's not a lot there. And yeah, I don't know. But the Cavs are also small in the guard position. You have
and
you don't
and look at their injury report. Dean Wade, Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis, Sam Merrill, like all significant role players. They're dealing with stuff. Ankle, knee, hamstring. Like I think they're all gearing up to play Saturday.
Okay, yeah, but still not ideal.
Not ideal. You want a ramp up period with those guys. And the Raptors just got quickly.
Yeah.
Like that's primary guy to worry about. So if you're the Raptors, you're like, if we can get him game one, suddenly the script changes. And Nat, like, dude, do you want to play in Toronto knowing that you lost home field advantage?
No. And
it's not like the Cavs should take care of business with the James Harden acquisition, how much he's unlocked for this team. I have the Cavs winning in 6, but I don't think it's an easy 6 games for first round series. Certainly not. It's one we talked about in the beginning. Like, I've been watching a ton of Toronto games, and some of the things that Scotty Barnes is able to do on the defensive end, where he's not playing one-on-one defense.
No.
Like, that's not where he's special. Like, he'll recognize an offensive concept and defend the concept.
Yep.
And that's where the league is heading towards. And unless Harden and Donovan Mitchell aren't a step ahead of that, that can cause some big problems, because Toronto's got length, they got youth, and they got up and coming stars that are starting to figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't sleep on this matchup. It's perfectly possible that they win game 1, and Cleveland's got to sweat it out where they have to figure out how to win in Toronto once in order to win this series.
Yeah, and I think if you're Cleveland, you want to get any series you think you have a good chance of winning done as soon as possible. We all know the game 6, 7, 5 James Harden where it just straight downhill. So lock in there. Yeah. Ooh, so many rumors of the Cavs being soft. If you lose this first game, not ideal per se. So yeah, but I think the Cavs can win it. They should win it. And I'm putting the onus on them. Oh, and one tweet I saw, it was a good thought. This is another season for Donovan Mitchell where he has no pressure to win a championship. How many times have we said Donovan Mitchell needs to win a championship right here, right now? Like, and I'm not saying this to belittle him, but it just opened up my mind to where, like, man, like, what, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like, Jokic, and all these like high level players where it's like if they don't win a championship, that's a bust, bro. But then Donovan Mitchell, who is a high level player, he doesn't have that same expectation. It's just a really interesting thought to me. It's something we should just think about. Be like,
And
why
he's turning 30 in September.
Oh mio, that's too jarring. That's too much. What?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement. I think part of it is like maybe in Utah, I want to say when they started like around COVID when they started putting it together. But like outside of that, I would agree. Like we never had those expectations when he was on the Cavs.
Yeah,
and I feel like we should have, but they've always been like one player away because we've been spending so much of time talking about the Celtics in that conference for so long, and then the Knicks. We're always talking about the Knicks this past season, even though they somehow like don't get it done year after year after year. But before we go, that was not an ideal matchup, or ideal, depends on
what's that?
What do you make of the Nuggets and the Spurs kind of finishing out the season the way they did? And like, do you think the Nuggets wanted the Timberwolves? Like, what is going on here? What's your view on the series? Who you got?
The Nuggets and the Timberwolves. It's just, to me, the Nuggets are in good form right now. They've been playing better, and maybe that's why they aren't as scared. But the Timberwolves are the most confusing team, I think, of all of these teams because you could get there's no in between of what you get. You could get an excellent team with Ant going off, Nas, Reed, Rudy go, like everyone is at peak performance, or you're getting the Iowa Timberwolves, like their G League team with how they play. Because there's just some moments where it's just, and I think I watched the game on Friday where they played the Rockets, and they looked great, bro. Anthony Edwards didn't play until the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and they came back without him against the Rockets, and I'm like, if you play like this, you could win any series you want. But the question is, are you playing like that? Are you going to be this good this whole time? And the biggest thing for them is turnovers. Are you going to be able to handle the rock? Bro, they have Mike Conley playing these games. And the worst part, I was watching the Prime Video, and they're like, we have this AI part of our broadcast that's going to highlight where a mismatch is, and it says advantage. And every time Mike Conley's guarding anyone that isn't the smallest guy on the other team, advantage for the Rockets. And I was like, bro, like chill on my guy. Like he deserves some respect. But they're just so give or take. And I love Ant, but I would take the Nuggets just because they gave the Timberwolves gave the Nuggets issues in 2024, and that's been a rivalry. They've actually, I saw a stat that they've met up 28 times, I think, in the past like 3 or 4 years, and they're 14-14 postseason and regular season combined. Like, that's how it's been a good rivalry, where you have these ebbs and flows of, man, the Nuggets are so good. Obviously, they smacked the Timberwolves. Oh, the Timberwolves beat them. Oh, and now their Nuggets are kind of back into their winning ways. Especially Cam Johnson has been cooking recently. I picked the Nuggets.
I told you to be a difference maker.
Yeah.
Dude, and this is why they got him. Like Watson, Cam Johnson, Christian Brown's all coming back. That's going to be huge. But then you also got the Timberwolves with Gobert, Edwards, McDaniels, Reed coming back. I think this is still going 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that. But I think with the Nuggets, just the offensive chemistry they have and the way like Aaron Gordon has developed over the past couple of years, you can't ignore that. You can't. And the way they've gone out of playoff series year after year, even if they don't win it, it's gone 7 games. Like they're playing a minimum set. You're gonna have to knock them out after like 5 rounds to kick them off. And I don't see the Timberwolves doing that. I have the Nuggets winning in 6.
The Nuggets are just a better team, and they have the best player. I mean, who is the Jokic guarding Jokic with multiple bigs worked when you had Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, and Naz Reid coming to fill the back end, the back line.
And it still took 7 games.
Yeah, you barely won it, and you were down at halftime in Game 7 by a lot of points. And I'm not saying it was so lucky that the Timberwolves couldn't do it again, but I just think Julius Randle to me isn't. I don't know. I wouldn't say he's a better defender or a worse defender than Karl Anthony Towns, but I just don't think they have the same team. They don't have the same team where you could just clamp down Jamal Murray, 94 feet, and make him so frustrated because he's better this year. He was an all-star this year. This is his best year of his career in the regular season. So I just think this is probably the best Nuggets team we've seen, possibly, period. Because you have your best Jamal Murray. You actually have some other creators. Anthony Gordon. Aaron Gordon is at a top level that we've never seen before, even compared to last year. Last year, the issue was it's just Jokic out there. He's playing with just guy like Russell Westbrook, you know? No offense to Russell Westbrook. He just can't shoot. But this year, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson being able to shoot. I can't say no to the Nuggets here, so I have them as well. But yeah, at least 6 games. It's not going to be easy.
All right. Do you feel the same way about the Hawks and the Knicks? I know Stephen A is like freaking putting as much pressure as he can on the Knicks to win this. If you look at how they match up, Atlanta performs better offensively. Knicks perform better defensively, but like
surprisingly,
they're right around equal in every other metric. Like Atlanta has more assists, more blocks, more steals, but more turnovers.
Yeah.
Where are you on this? Do you think the Hawks will pull up an upset in the series? Do you think it's any person's series?
Honestly, because we know I'm a bit of a Knicks hater after they traded for Karl Anthony Towns. I'm down to see the Hawks win this, and
You're down to see the Hawks win. Okay.
I would love to, because this is just a repeat. This is a repeat of the 21 series where the Knicks, this is their first season back, and Trae Young is there in his first, I think it's the first playoff series, and he just wins. He just wins it. He does, I don't know if he does the dice roll or he does something at MSG, just complete villain, and he loves it. Yeah, I just think there is, no matter how good the Knicks are offensively, the Hawks are going to get Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns every single time. Every single time. If they do anything else, it's on them for losing the series. Just because, I mean, and the fact Onyeka Okongwu, for what he has become as a pick and pop player, an active 5, who is a bit smaller, I guess, but I don't think he can clamp down Karl Anthony Towns. But he is a center in the same mold of I can shoot, I can move around, I can cut, and it's not as easy to guard me as you might think. As you might want to put like a 7-footer on. So the biggest thing is it's going to be Mitchell Robinson offensive rebound fest, because the Hawks don't have the size to go against that, at least not one-on-one. And I just love the way they run their offense with everyone: Nikhil, Jalen Johnson, CJ McCollum, and Dyson Daniels. Like, you can't hide Jalen Brunson on CJ McCollum, the guy he should guard. You might not be able to hide him on Dyson Daniels either, and you're definitely not putting him on Onyeka Okongwu. So and
don't forget about the X factor, Jonathan Kuminga.
Right, on the second.
He's in the perfect position right now to just completely change the series.
He really is. So
I will say this. The matchup of the wings is going to be really exciting to watch, and I think it's going to determine who wins the series. You got Jalen Johnson, 6'8", Dyson Daniels, 6'7", Nikhil Alexander Walker, 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
They would irritate anybody bringing the ball up. But what do you got from the Knicks? You got OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart. Great defenders. So if the Knicks can lean on that and let Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns take over late in games, that's the strategy to win this. But at the same time, the starting lineup, where it's Brunson, Towns, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, they've not been producing the mismatches you would like from that lineup. One thing I would be concerned about is Karl Anthony Towns on Okonkwo or like the other guys. But like the Knicks haven't been able to capitalize that on that all season. So it's like, okay, does that change in the playoffs or is it more of the same? I'm going to pick in more of the same. And I'm also going to say Atlanta wins in 7. I think they got it.
Yeah.
I really think they do because I think they're a better team without Trae Young. They got deeper without Trae Young. And I don't think they have an answer for Jalen Johnson and the depth that Atlanta has.
Yeah.
It would be one thing if Jalen Johnson was the only guy on offense producing, but that's not the case. You can always substitute a McCollum for Dyson Daniels if Dyson's really holding them back, and a Kuminga if you need score and punch. I just think they have an experienced coach. They have a lot of players you absolutely despise bringing the ball up, and they're going to cause New York problems.
Yeah. So it'll be a fun series. I'm happy you agree with the hot. Like I think you were surprised that I also agreed, but I'm so Knicks hate just because
I didn't think you would jump to the Hawks like that. I don't know. I didn't think you would agree.
You'll never. I'm gonna be like on my deathbed being like the Knicks messed up in trading for Karl Anthony Towns. That was their fatal flaw. Like they were right on the edge of making the finals, and then they're like, no, we got to get rid of Tibbs. That was the problem. That wasn't the problem, man. The problem was trading for Karl Anthony Towns, needing like
not Mikal Bridges. Not Mikal Bridges of the 5 first-round picks they traded him.
See, that was okay as long as you're still.
No, it was not. Don't lie.
I think it wasn't the end of the world.
Don't lie. They could have had Giannis by now.
But that's the thing.
Without sacrificing all those picks.
But that's the thing. Giannis, you're always waiting on Giannis. But it wasn't working. You couldn't once you realize after a few years that Giannis isn't just gonna leave. Even now, when we all know he should leave, he's not leaving. You were itching so hard to make a star move that you had to go for Karl Anthony Towns and make this big switch when maybe that wasn't it. Maybe like you sacrificed. I don't know. I think they just thought we need to make a move. We've been waiting for a move. Giannis isn't moving. We're making this move. But you didn't think, man, now I have 2 of my 5 best players can't play a lick of defense. And I think that was the biggest. That's what to me is their fatal flaw. Wasn't Tibbs, wasn't Mikal, because I feel like the Mikal trade was Mikal is such a ceiling raiser. He's been to a finals. I mean, he's the only him and OG Anunoby are the only 2 players to go to a finals on that team. Yeah, because Jalen Brunson didn't get to on the map, so it's so interesting.
I think it's just too much cap. Like you could have traded Mikal for 3 first-round picks, 2 first-round picks, like negotiated that a little bit. That's seriously.
I need to look into that trade more. Like what? How like? Because like that's what happened with Desmond Bane, right? The Grizzlies knew the Magic wanted someone. They're like, we know you want some. We know you want a little piece, don't you? You want a new guy. You want some offense. Well, we'll give them to you, but you have to scratch our backs really well with all of these picks. And that's what I think. That's what the Nets did. But I don't know what was the free agency, or the market looking like at that point. Because that's a big thing about it. But anywho, Knicks.
I still
Knicks downfall.
You got to be a sustainable team. Like what's going to happen once everybody in the Knicks wants to get paid? Like I don't know. But all right.
Last but
Houston Lakers. This would have been a good series.
Would have, yeah.
if Luka and Austin were healthy coming into this.
Yeah.
I have Houston winning this in 6. I want to say 5. I think LeBron, spoiler alert, is one of the greatest players of all time.
What a revelation for my dog.
And
here.
I don't think he's gonna go out in a sweep. I know it's happened in the past with the Timberwolves, but and I've laughed so hard when it happened. And I guess the Nuggets. I laughed so hard when it happened. But I feel like it'd be rude to do that with the Rockets.
Yeah.
Considering the situation they're in. And
Yeah,
the man is 40. I have a little bit of mercy. The man is 40.
Real.
But I don't think you could slug it out with the Rockets for that many games, man.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be a lot.
Where's the scoring gonna come from? DeAndre Ayton?
No.
I don't know, man.
There's not enough D8 crunk juice for that. Jake LaRavia will be interesting, but yeah, I think LeBron.
Yeah, get out of here. It's his first playoffs.
Is it? There's no way. He's definitely been a. Let's see.
Jake LaRavia
playoff appearances.
It has to be his first series, man. Like, who was he playing on before that?
Okay. So he has been part of teams that made the playoffs, the Grizzlies in 2023, but he missed that postseason with an injury. So he hasn't been in a playoff.
He's never played in the playoffs, but if you want to do the semantics with his team, okay.
I'm a semantics merchant, but
all right.
Anywho,
so what do you say?
What I was gonna say is I think LeBron he's gonna put some Herculean performance and get a game at least. I don't know why I've been getting so many 2018 Bron highlights on my feed. It's not even my favorite Bron. My favorite Bron's Heat Bron, but still, been like, you could do it. You could get one of those. Just one of those. Just squeeze it like you're squeezing the toothpaste. Just one drop more on my toothbrush. Yeah.
No, this is the equivalent of the Cavaliers versus the KD Warriors.
Yeah,
playoffs.
It is. Except
and this is him game 1 trying to get it all out of his system and win game 1. And this is J.R. Smith on his team, just doing whatever the heck he did. This series is gonna feel like that.
It's gonna feel like that epic of a matchup, KD LeBron, but it feels like a parody version. Like you have that like dun, 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 like some sort of like funny music going the whole time. Because the Rockets are just in shambles, like in that Timberwolves game, they had KD, Amen Thompson dropped like 37 points, and they still lost to the Timberwolves. Like Amen Thompson hitting mid-range shots, he hit 1-3 maybe. It's just this is such a weird team.
They need Van Vliet, dude. It's what we've been saying at the start of the season. It was a bigger loss than people would credit for it because. You're asking a lot out of Reed Shepard and Amen Thompson to carry the load.
Point guard wins.
But I take it you also have the Rockets, or you still believe in your GOAT?
Yeah, no, I have the Rockets.
Oh, you don't believe in LeBron anymore?
I believe in LeBron.
See how I got him, folks.
He's still my
GOAT. Can't
GOAT.
have it both ways, Diego.
Okay. I'll have it always with my GOAT. That's what I like that meme where he's like, "That's why he's the GOAT." The GOAT. Anyway.
I could probably say I no longer have LeBron musicals on my algorithm. So
wow, no,
now that Siri picked it up, is going to happen, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So the 4 teams waiting for the play-in results: Boston, OKC, Detroit, San Antonio. Do you think they're losing any of their first-round series?
No. The craziest thing, I didn't realize until yesterday or today that the Spurs won 62 games, man. That's crazy. They jumped up 9 seeds from last year at the same time. And the Pistons won 60 games barely, which is amazing with Cade being out. I was unsure. I was like, yeah, the Pistons are kind of weak right now, right? Because Cade, I'm like, wait, Cade's back. And I'm like, is that – are they at the same that they were at? I don't know. So I might make it to a game. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm about to be done with my class next Thursday. So I might have a week, and they should be playing. So maybe
How
I'll
much were
cop a
tickets,
ticket.
man?
Huh?
How much were the tickets?
Oh no, I haven't copped it yet. But last year I went to the first round series against the Knicks. It was like, was it $100? So that was fine for like one, and it was like in the top upper echelon, but it was lit. Like they're like the Detroit basketball. It's so funny. Me and my friends were like, "This is great." There's a lot of Knicks fans too. I think a lot of people traveled, which is crazy, but yeah, I don't think anyone loses. I think all these 1s and 2 seeds are so good. It would be I'd say here's my hot take. I think all 4 of them combined are gonna lose 3 games max. Because they're just that much better than the rest of the league. The Thunder could sweep very easily. That's a lock. Who's guarding Wemby? That could be another sweep. And then you have 3 losses between the Pistons and the Celtics. Definitely possible.
Well, I'll throw you a hot take here.
Ooh,
I could see the Hornets taking out the Pistons
it's
in the
possible.
first round.
It's gonna be a crazy series if that's how it comes out.
Like, if the Hornets don't get deterred by the Pistons' defense,
Yeah,
absolutely anything is possible. And by the way, tickets for the Pistons game is $87 right now. So cop it as soon as you can.
I know. It might have been cheaper.
Vivid seats, baby. Vivid seats.
I'm on some sort of list with it. They've kept calling me to get a membership for next year. I'm like, bro, I go to like 2 games a year. Let me live. Let me decide.
I don't know if I believe that. I feel like you've gone to so many Pistons games this year.
Have I? I've gone to 2. I think I went to 2. Anywho, yeah, there were no Mavs games here, so that wasn't possible. But yeah.
Alrighty.
Excited. Playoffs coming up soon.
A lot to talk about. I think this is our longest episode in a while. So I hope you enjoyed it. The most exciting part of the NBA is here.
It really
2 months
is.
of playoffs. Can you believe it? That's going to be fun. Hopefully, Austin Reeves and Luka somehow come back in time.
I mean, Luka's back in the U.S. I think he's with the team on Friday. So I'm telling you, in Spain they
Hamstrings
rejected
are rough,
him.
dude. Like, if you come back too early from hamstrings, you're cooked.
Right, hamstrings. Yeah, not calves. Calves are the worst because then you
calves are the same because then you got the Achilles to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
All right.
see.
Take it easy, guys. Enjoy the playoffs. Gonna keep tabs on what's going on with the Heat and the Hornets, and we'll let you know. Diego, you know what to do.
Yep. See ya.